Hey guys, this is John with MacHeads 101, and today I'm going to be going over what happened and what they discussed at Apple's September 10th, 2013 keynote address. Basically, they introduced some new iPhones, and they started doing that in September instead of July, and I think they're going to hold to that tradition. Um, so basically, the new iPhones, they went with their usual pattern with releasing the 5S to come after the iPhone 5. But instead of, usually what they do is if there's like an iPhone 4, with the iPhone, when the iPhone 4S came out, they made the iPhone 4 cheaper, and then you could get the iPhone 4 or the 4S. But instead of doing that this year, to replace the iPhone 5, they have the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C. Now, C presumably stands for color. C is going to be the cheaper version. There's a plastic back. There's going to be a green, a blue, a yellow, a pink, or a white option. And I personally didn't like the iPhone 5C because the background is the same color as the casing of the phone, and it appeared that you can't actually change the background, even though they have the code for that, because you can already do that on your iPhone, and because if they can do it, you should be able to also. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to target a different audience. Like maybe it's like they have like the pro users, and then there's like the cheaper baseline that you would get your kids. So I don't know, because a lot of kids they don't want iPod touches anymore. They just want an iPod. They want an iPhone, which is like an iPod touch, but with the call option. But their parents don't want to pay the full price. So I don't know. And anyways, they also released the iPhone 5S. The iPhone 5S is traditional. That it looks like the iPhone 5, but with the exception that there's a gold option now. So there's the white, the black, and the gold. The gold looks like the white one, like this, but instead of silver color, there's gold everywhere. I thought it looked pretty cool, better than I expected. So the iPhone 5S has two main new features. It has a fingerprint home button. So the way that works is when you press the home button, or when you just touch it, first off, every time you touch it, it knows your finger better. So you don't have to be careful about how you touch it, because when you program it in the first time, you put your finger in at a bunch of angles, and when you touch it, humans actually have three types of fingerprints. So immediately recognizes which category fingerprint your finger falls into, and then from there it sees if it's your finger, and so that's a faster way, because they said that less than half of users have a password on their iPhone because it's inconvenient. So that way you can just touch the home button, wake up your phone, and it'll know it's you. Another thing they introduced was a camera. The new camera can take video at over 100 frames per second. So that is very good for slow motion video. Traditional video is probably about 30 frames per second. I'm assuming that if you're watching me right now on YouTube, this video is being played at 30 frames per second. There's also a true tone flash. So this flash is just one LED light, and it's like white. Instead, they have two LED lights that are right next to each other. One that is reddish and one that is bluish. And depending on the color and the light that is outside, when they use the flash for the camera, they put different amounts of red and blue in order to not distort the color of the image. And this is actually the first camera, not even on a smartphone, but the first camera in general to do this. And the camera also has another option where it can take an action shot, where it'll take 10 pictures a second, and then if it's an action shot, it will try to recognize which of these images is the best, and it will show that to you. Also, the iPhone 5S has another chip besides the A7 chip, which is the new processor. It has a separate chip for motion detection. So the chip talks to the accelerometer, the gyroscope, the digital compass, and the GPS to know everything about the position and orientation of your cell phone. That way, or your iDevice. That way, essentially, any app, especially a gaming app, that wants to know how you're holding the phone, but at the same time makes heavy use of the processor, it can actually not stop the processor from doing what it's currently doing while the app can get that data. So iOS 7 is going to come out on September 18th. And then a little bit after that, the iPhone 5S and 5C are going to come out. The 5C is available for order before the iPhone 5S. So I personally think I'm going to wait for the next generation. I'm also still on a 2-year contract. But that's my thoughts. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe and goodbye.